Hey y'all, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Kate Dorsey. I'm so excited that you're here. I am going to be joined by Lori Gerber, head coach at the Handle Group. And I'm just waiting for her to pop on. And I'm so super excited to talk to you guys today about your inner critic and why overcoming your inner critic, sorry about my finger being there, is so important. Hey Alice, thanks for joining. Hey Haley, thanks for joining. I'm just waiting on Lori Gerber, and we're going to be talking about your inner critic and how you can overcome your inner critic. So what you may not know about your inner critic is that your inner critic will block you from living the life of your dreams. So all those things that you want are really possible. Hey, Katie, thanks for joining. And your inner critic is what stands in the way. It's that piece of you that puts doubt in your way, puts your gets in the way of you really understanding what's going on. So I'm just going to wait a little bit for Lori to join us. And so I'd like for you to just think a little bit, take like a couple minutes and just really think about what would it be like if I'm figuring out how to invite, if I was living the life of my dreams. What are the things that you desire and want? What would that open up for you? Excuse me if my finger's there. What would that mean for you? How would that look? How would your life be different? I don't know how to get out of that screen. Hey Jennifer, thanks for joining. James, thanks for joining. I just invited Lori in, so I'm thinking there she is. Okay, bring Lori on. I think I did it. Did I do it? It says adding. It's like really slow. Please bear with me during these slight technical difficulties. Bring her onto camera. Yeah, add. Okay. It's like doing something weird. Isn't that technology? Don't we always have like something happening with technology? Still saying adding. Maybe I'll exit and try again. Sorry about my fingers being everywhere. Bring them onto camera. Okay, it's joining again. So again, as I was saying, I really want you to think about what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. What is that thing that keeps you up at night? What's that thing that like makes you feel like, oh, I really want this? Like maybe it's weight loss. Maybe there's something you want to be happening within your body, or maybe it's something like you want to be a better parent, or maybe it's something like you want a better job. And so I just want you to think about what it is that you truly desire and what it is that you really want. And it's still saying it's adding, so I'm not sure what's going on. And so it's really important that we get clear on what we want, and then we need to understand the role the inner critic has in blocking us from having everything that we want and desire. Um, hey, Mimi, thanks for joining. I'm still working on figuring out how to add Lori. It's saying adding, but then it's like not doing it. And so again, it's really coming down to, excuse me while my finger, no answer from the live vid. Okay. Um, Coming back in. Hey, Ashley, thanks for joining. Yeah, why won't it let me add you? Yes, thanks, Alice, for giving us an update. So Lori is trying to get in, and she should be joining us soon. Hey, Mimi. Um, so that's so strange. Her phone isn't working. Okay. Um, well, life happens. So I'll talk to you about the inner critic while we wait for Lori, and we'll just keep trying. It happens. We can always hopefully reconnect if it doesn't end up working out today. Sometimes technology loves to do that. Um, so really, okay. So let's talk a little bit about the inner critic. The inner critic is this part of us that stands in the way. It blocks us. Hey, Ashley, thanks for joining. From, I just really like waving, so I'm going to wave. Okay, hopefully, why won't it let her hit go live? Does anybody know how to solve this? Has anybody ever invited somebody on to the camera and not been able to get somebody on? I've never had that experience. So if anyone has any suggestions, please type in the comment section below. It'd be amazing. So how many of you guys have dreams? How many of you guys have things that you really want and yet you're not able to experience them? There's something that like you really want or desire. Hearts and likes if this stands out to you. There's something you desire and yet you're not seeming to really live that life. There's something standing in the way. Does anybody relate to that? I know there's a little bit of a delay. I'm gonna have a little sip of water and see what else I can figure out. Okay, thanks, Mimi. So we both have to have iPhones. I definitely have an iPhone. I'm on an iPhone. Um, and I've watched some of Lori's videos, so I know she's been able to do it. Um, okay. Well, your inner critic is this. Okay, she just reopened. We'll try again. Adding again. Perfect. It's saying adding again. I just re-invited, and it's doing that beepy thing where it keeps saying adding. Because I know we all really want to talk to Lori. We want to really hear um, how the inner critic blocks us, how it really stops us from living the life that we dream. Something just happened. Were you able to get on? But usually there's a video. I'm on dial up. Does that work? Oh, Lori, this is a bummer. All right. Well, hopefully I can reach out and we can reschedule because I would absolutely love to feature you and to be able to talk about that. So we're going to hit pause on that, guys. I'm so sorry Lori wasn't able to join us today. We will definitely seek to reconnect and to talk more about this. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about the inner critic. So the inner critic is this voice that we have in our heads. I know you have so much to say, Lori, and I'm so like, I wish you were here because this was just going to be such a fantastic interview and such an awesome opportunity for both of our viewers to get to connect. So we will totally figure this out. I'll reach out to Alice and see what we can do. And I'll just give a little teaser into what the inner critic is doing. Um, so the inner critic is this voice in our head that stands in the way. Yes, Lori, we'll absolutely reschedule. Thank you. It's the voice that stands in the way. So I want you to think about what is it that stops you short on living the life that you dream of? What is that thing that gets in the way? And I'm going to tell you, it's your inner critic. Yeah, newsflash. It's totally your inner critic. So your inner critic is the voice that's like, you can't do that. Who are you to do that? You're not good enough. And so one of the most important things, and this is how I'm going to break it down, and then we'll bring Lori back on, and she's going to dive into a whole heck of a lot more with us. And again, I'll reschedule and I'll notify you guys because I really want you guys to be able to participate. Hey, Saba, thanks for joining. I'm going to wave because I love waving. So here's what I want to teach you guys today. So your inner critic is the voice that gets in the way. And what I want you to get clear on is how do they sound? Okay, so I really want you to start to think about, okay, so there's something I really want. And what is that thing that you really want? Is it weight loss? Is it a better job? Is it more money so you can travel? Is it finally feeling good in your body? Is it a incredible relationship? And what stops you? Hey, Ashley, thanks for joining. Nice to see you again. What is it that stops you waving? Because I love waving. That's such a fun feature. What is it that stops you? And then I want you to listen. I want you to really get super crystal clear. How does your inner critic talk to you? Why do I want you to do this? I want you to do this because this is a fundamental key aspect of understanding that that voice of doubt, that voice that says you're not good enough to do this, who are you to do this, is the thing that gets in the way. And when you can hear it, you can stop it. Because the truth is, you don't have to buy its BS. And yeah, I said that. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. What they're saying to you, what your inner critic says to you is not your truth. You just believe it's your truth. You believe wholeheartedly that you cannot do it. And it's going back to some old story. But the more you can hear,
how it talks to you, what it's saying to you, you can start to override it. When you recognize that, oh, that's that voice, that's that inner critic, just dragging over its soapbox, standing up and yelling at you, you don't have to buy into it. And yes, Mimi, thank you. I agree. Hell yes, you don't have to buy into it. It is not your truth. You have come to believe it's your truth because you're like, oh, well, maybe it's right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I can't do it. Maybe I don't deserve to make more money. And it's like, yes, you do. You just absolutely freaking do. And your inner critic plants this seed of doubt, this seed of, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, or who am I, or everybody else has that, but I don't have it, so I'm obviously never going to have it because there must be something wrong with me. It loves to tell you that there's something wrong with you. So, my tool for you today is really to get crystal clear on how does it talk to you. Because when you can start to hear that voice, you can really begin to transform your life. Because you don't realize it. When you're saying something to yourself like, I mean, I'd like it. Like it'd be really nice, but like I've got to look at what other people want. I've got to be concerned about what other people want. Hey, Laura, so good to see you. I'll be back in Charleston on the 16th. What? Obviously for Sharon's wedding. Yay. Um, so need to get my bridesmaids dress hem. So your inner critic is the thing that stands in the way. And the most important aspect of this is starting to hear it. Because you can't override what you can't hear. So if you're walking around and you're thinking that this is all related um, to you, if you actually believe it, and you're believing it because you don't realize it's not you, it's your inner critic. And if you want to overcome it, then you've got to get crystal clear on it being your inner critic. Hey, Delaney, thanks so much for joining. Hey, Merlin, I probably didn't say your name right. I'm gonna wave. I just love waving. So my tool and recommendation for today is that instead of buying into what your thoughts are saying, I want you to get really clear on the voice that plants the seeds of doubt. How does your inner critic talk to you? What does it say? Does it roll their eyes at you? Does it snicker? Does it tell you you're never going to get this? You're never going to be able to do this? I want you to get so clear on that. And the reason behind getting clear on that is because it will help you transform. I know we all want the result, right? Like if you don't like how your clothing fits, you just want to like how your clothing fits, right? You just want to pull your pants on and feel like, oh, yay. Or like that you can finally just wear jeans and you're not having to like always just wear leggings. Or if you're wanting like better pay or you just want a better job, we all want the end result, but we've got to be really open to, I've got to work on this piece. I've got to work on the piece that stands in the way of me having what I want and desire. And for everyone joining, I'm so sorry. Lori Gerber wasn't able to join us. Lori's the head coach at the Handle Group. We had some just like I had some word difficulties right there. We had some technology difficulties. She and I are going to reschedule. I definitely want you guys to be able to meet her. She's an incredible coach, and I know she's got so much to share on the inner critic. And what I'm really talking to you today about is your inner critic is what stands in the way. And as a heads up, I'm going to be doing a 5-day challenge in a couple weeks on the inner critic. So I hope that y'all will join me. Reach out to me if you've got any questions. And so today, what I'm really suggesting for you to do is to look at hearing that voice of doubt. Because you need to start to separate that voice from yourself. Because like what we do is we believe that that voice is our own. We believe that that's us and that we're like, oh, okay, well, I must be right, right? Like I really can't do this, or like fear will really shut me down. And what we really want to start to do is to like hear it. I want you to almost think of like, if I were to create an image of my inner critic, what would that look like? Who is that voice? And so hearing it is a step in the process of changing. I know, again, you want to get to the end result. We all want to get to the end result. But there are fundamental skills that we actually have to start to use and implement to really get us on that track. Does anybody have any questions? Is this resonating for anyone? Is there anything that's standing out that you're like, how do I do that? Or I'm confused, or like, I hope that you understand why. I mean, I really drove into that. Hey, Ariana, thanks for watching. Does anyone feel like they have an inner critic that stands in the way? Is anyone able to hear their inner critic? Is anyone, hey Heidi, I'll see you soon. Um, that's awesome. So, does anyone have any questions? Thank you so much for joining. Any questions on the inner critic, on hearing it? I feel like yeah, Wi-Fi does like to go in and out, right? Does anyone not understand that? I just want to be super clear before I jump off and go reschedule with Lori, because I am really excited. Good, you hear it? How does it stand out to you? Is there anything that comes up for you? I'm just gonna have a sip of water. Hey Tara, thanks for joining. Okay, so your inner critic says it won't matter. Is that frequently what she always says? And like, how does, like, when we think about that, like, what we want to do is like, when we recognize that that's the voice that she always says, we don't have to buy it because you can easily label it like that's my inner critic and now we can move it to the side. And that's where that silencing piece comes in. Because once you understand what she says, you don't have to buy it. So, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing. And I go do what I need to do, right? Like I hear you and I don't need to be stuck in it. So that's so fantastic. And yeah, your inner critic can be straight up nasty. Think of it like we've all had that one friend, right? Get like a little out of hand and be like super critical. Think of your inner critic like that, that it's really this piece of the puzzle that we need to overcome and that we can silence it when we start to recognize it. Hey, Clarissa, I'll see you in a few. We get to go volunteer. Yay. So I really want to drive home. The point is to hear it, to listen to it. Hey, Alicia, thanks for joining. Get crystal clear on how your inner critic talks to you because being crystal clear on that helps you silence it, helps you overcome it, helps you stop buying into their BS. What does Ariana say? Yeah, I call it my little voice. Yeah, totally. And it is often the same thing. Your inner critic will run the same stories, and you have that opportunity not to be so caught up in it. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. I would love to connect more on this. I know Lori and I will reschedule and we'll get connected again. Hey, Kate. Oh my gosh, I'll see you in a few. Well, I guess I won't see you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. So, really, what we're going to be doing is looking at hear that voice, and hearing that voice is a part of silencing that voice because you've been believing it like it was your truth, like it was the absolute end all be all, but it's not your truth. Hey, Courtney, thanks for joining. So I really want to emphasize that. Again, Lori and I will reschedule. I do Wellness Wednesdays every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Why do I only know Eastern? Because I am from Eastern time. That's where I originated over there. So I only know those times. So I'm really sorry about everyone in between. Hey, Judy, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you soon. So again, I just want to emphasize Lori and I are going to reschedule. So y'all will get an update on that. We're going to go way more in depth with the inner critic. Your inner critic is that voice that stands in the way. Get really clear on how it talks to you because it's always running the same stories, as Ariana pointed out. It just runs those stories over and over. And when you get clear on how it talks to you, you don't have to keep buying into it. The other thing that I'm going to share is that I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Join me. If there's a topic you want to hear about and you're catching it on the replay, send me a PM or comment. I am so happy to provide you with content that really resonates and connects for you. I want this to be a valuable experience for you. I want you to feel like showing up here got you something that you didn't think about before. As Mimi pointed out, it's really helpful to hear that voice. And when we get crystal clear on that voice, we can begin to silence it because your voice is going to say the same stories always. Like it really does over and over. Because like we kind of have these old buy-ins where it's like, I'm not good enough, or I can't, or I'm always going to be a failure. So again, I will let y'all know when I get to reschedule with Lori. I am so thankful that y'all joined, and I appreciate everyone's patience. And we will get it figured out. And I hope everyone has a beautiful, wonderful rest of their Wednesday. So much love. and I'm going to go volunteer tonight, which is going to be incredible. And get clear on your critic. Send me a message, put a reply in. I'm happy to talk you through. All right, bye everyone. So much love.